What's up, gearheads, and welcome back to Techbeast TV. Get ready because today we're diving deep into a world of raw power and incredible engineering. From forest giants that tame timber to mountain machines defying gravity, you're about to witness some of the most awesome heavy equipment on the planet. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. All right, folks, let's kick things off deep in this winter wonderland where the air is crisp and the machines are mean. Feast your eyes on the John Deere 205 4-logger. This track titan is basically the linebacker of the logging world. Built tough for the roughest jobs imaginable. Hooked up to its powerful articulated arm is the formidable Limit 2000C processing head. And let me tell you, this attachment is surgical. Watch that powerful grapple bite down on the felled timber like a hungry gator securing its prey. Then bam! Those razor-sharp delimbing knives shear off branches faster than you can say clean sweep. The feed rollers pull the log through smooth as butter, while the sophisticated hydraulic system measures and bucks it to size with pinpoint accuracy. From the precision of delimbing, let's transition to something a bit more destructive, shall we? Okay, from precision cutting, let's shift gears to pure, unadulterated destruction. In the best possible way, of course. Check out this high-volume processing site. That agile Hitachi excavator, likely an EX or Zaxis series, acts as the crucial setup guy, expertly feeding monster logs into the gaping maw of a true titan, the Peterson 4310B tracked horizontal grinder. Folks, this ain't just chipping, this is sheer annihilation. Listen to that engine scream, probably packing close to 1,000 horsepower, maybe a Cat C27 or similar powerhouse, as its massive heavy-duty drum pulverizes entire logs into valuable, uniform biomass chips in mere seconds. It's a perfectly choreographed, almost hypnotic dance between the excavator, feeding, and the grinder consuming, maximizing throughput like nobody's business. See those chips flying? They're blasting through the discharge chute into that waiting haul truck, filling it up faster than fans rushing a Black Friday doorbuster sale. This beast can likely chew through hundreds of tons of raw timber per hour, turning potential waste into ready-to-use resources with mind-blowing mechanical force. Absolutely staggering efficiency. Let's move on to clearing the land itself with ferocious efficiency. All right, brace yourselves for some serious land clearing domination. Meet the TigerCat 480B mulcher, a purpose-built tracked carrier designed from the ground up to absolutely conquer overgrown terrain and dense vegetation. Get a load of that menacing mulching head up front, spinning like a Tasmanian devil armed with hardened steel teeth. It's not just cutting, it's utterly obliterating everything in its path. See how it tears into that dense pile of slash, unwanted brush, branches, and small logs left behind by previous operations. Dust and wood fibers fill the air as those incredibly durable teeth, often carbide tipped for extreme longevity and impact resistance, shred the material down to size. This machine, likely boasting over 300 horsepower and equipped with advanced hydraulic cooling systems to handle the intense, continuous load, turns bulky debris into fine mulch that actually helps enrich the soil. It's absolutely crucial for wildfire mitigation, land reclamation, and site preparation. Clearing brush is one thing, but what about those stubborn remnants left deep in the ground? Let's see how the pros handle that. Now for the ultimate challenge in wood waste disposal, the gnarly, deeply rooted, stubborn tree stump. You see that heavy-duty excavator, maybe a 30 or 40-ton machine, skillfully lifting that massive root ball, soil still clinging tenaciously to its tangled mass? That thing's heavier than my Uncle Tony after an all-you-can-eat Thanksgiving dinner. So where does this awkward, bulky, hard-to-handle mess go? Right into the belly of this absolute monster, a powerful truck-mounted shredder, possibly a Get model or a similar high-torque beast. built specifically for this kind of brutal punishment. Watch that reinforced hopper tilt back, ready for its formidable meal. The excavator operator carefully, precisely lowers the stump into the grinding chamber. Listen close. You can hear the machine strain for just a second as those slow-speed, high-torque shredding shafts stepping into a large-scale wood waste recycling operation now, where efficiency and throughput are absolute king. Dominating the scene is the Comtech Crambo 6000 EC. This distinctive green machine is a world-class, slow-speed shredder, famous across the globe for its versatility and ability to tackle just about anything you can throw into its hopper. Fed relentlessly by that big John Deere excavator, equipped with a high-capacity grapple. But even the most powerful machines aren't immune to the challenges of the environment, as we're about to see. Uh-oh, reality check time. Even the mightiest machines can stumble and fall, folks. Deep in the unforgiving wilderness, Mother Nature always gets a vote, and sometimes she votes no. Here we see a massive forwarder, usually the unstoppable, load-lugging mule of timber transport, meeting its temporary nemesis. Truly treacherous terrain, whether it's thick, soupy mud, hiding deceptively beneath a layer of snow, or a deep, waterlogged bog that just looks solid. This powerful, multi-wheeled machine is well and truly stuck fast. Look at those colossal tires, probably costing thousands of dollars a piece, and specifically designed for maximum flotation and grip. Just churning helplessly, digging themselves into an even deeper hole. You can practically hear the diesel engine straining, the complex articulated frame twisting under the load. But forward progress is minimal, if any. This is the harsh reality check of off-road logging and forestry operations. Even machines weighing upwards of 20 tons, equipped with advanced drivetrains and differential locks. From struggle to success, let's watch these machines do what they do best, moving massive amounts of material efficiently. All right, let's shift from a machine in distress to a coordinated cleanup crew demonstrating pure efficiency. Here we have two powerful forwarders, maybe Valmet, Ponce, or similar Scandinavian workhorses, showcasing their versatility beyond just hauling logs. Armed with those impressive long-reach cranes and beefy high-capacity grapples, they're making short work of enormous piles of brush, small trees, and logging debris, the leftover slash from a recent clearing operation. Look at the operator's skill and precision. They maneuver those complex cranes with incredible dexterity, grabbing huge tangled bundles of biomass and loading them neatly and securely into the large cargo bunks or stakes at the rear. These machines are built like absolute tanks, easily handling the muddy, uneven ground. Maintaining tricky, hard-to-reach terrain calls for some seriously specialized gear. And here's a prime example of engineering meeting a challenge. We're looking at a seriously robust tractor, possibly an Antonio Carraro, a reformed Mitrak, or a similar European Alpine specialist, specifically designed for stability and performance on steep slopes. It's tackling a severely overgrown embankment right next to a waterway. Definitely not your average weekend lawn mowing job. Attached is a heavy-duty flail mower, likely mounted on a hydraulically articulated offset boom arm. This clever setup allows the operator to precisely shred that dense vegetation on the slope, while keeping the tractor itself with its characteristically low center of gravity, wide stance, and maybe even a reversible driving position for better visibility, safely planted on more level ground. From maintaining slopes to preparing timber for its next stage, let's look at the essential process of debarking. Now for a crucial, if not exactly glamorous, step in the journey of turning raw trees into usable lumber. Debarking. This stationary machine might look a bit old school, maybe lacking the sleek lines of newer equipment, but don't underestimate its rugged effectiveness and importance in the process. Logs are fed onto heavy-duty rollers or chain conveyors, methodically marching them towards the business end of the machine. Here, a rapidly spinning cutter head, drum, or maybe even flailing chains, often known as a Rosser head debarker in many sawmill designs, makes violent, aggressive contact with the log's surface. Watch closely. It forcefully and aggressively strips away the outer bark, cambium layer, and any embedded dirt or rocks in a noisy shower of wood fibers and dust, leaving the clean, pale wood underneath exposed and ready for sawing. This process is absolutely vital for getting a clean, accurate cut at the primary breakdown saw, preventing expensive damage to saw blades from hidden debris, and ensuring the final lumber product is free from contaminants. Debarking cleans the log, but what about getting rid of the stump entirely? Let's dig deeper. Okay, this is where we get down to the real nitty-gritty, the subterranean battle of land reclamation. The trees are gone, maybe the logs have been hauled away, but those stubborn, ugly stumps are still anchored deep in the earth, posing an obstacle. That was heavy-duty grinding. Now let's see how compact power handles dense undergrowth with agility. Check out the Terex PT 100G Posy track loader. This compact track loader, or CTL, might be significantly smaller than the dedicated mulchers we saw earlier, but it's a certified mighty might, especially when equipped with a high-performance forestry mulching head like this one. Unlike its bigger, heavier cousins, this machine's superpower is its maneuverability and relatively light footprint. See how it zips through tight spaces between larger trees, places where bigger machines just can't go? It's systematically attacking thick brush, invasive species, and small saplings. That mulching drum spinning at high RPMs, instantly shredding unwanted vegetation into fine, easily decomposed mulch. These modern CTLs often feature advanced auxiliary hydraulic systems putting out high flow, maybe 30 to 40 gallons per minute, specifically designed to power these demanding attachments, translating maybe 60 to 80 net horsepower effectively to the drum. Agility is great, but sometimes you just need brute force to conquer the terrain. Let's head back to the swamp. We're heading back into the swampy depths, folks, into conditions where only the absolute toughest, most specialized machines dare to tread. This massive red forwarder, heavily laden with tons of valuable timber, is putting on an absolute masterclass in extreme off-road capability. Just look at this route. It's less like a track and more like a chocolate milkshake that wants to swallow machines whole. Witness the incredible power being transmitted through its drivetrain to those 8 enormous, wide, high-flotation tires as they paddle, claw, and churn relentlessly through the deep, unforgiving bog. Mud and murky water spray high as the machine relentlessly pushes forward. Its sophisticated articulated steering allowing it to wiggle and snake through the forest track like some kind of determined mechanical beast. This is extreme logging transport, pushing the absolute limits of heavy equipment engineering. From the swampy lowlands, let's elevate our perspective way up to the mountains for a different kind of logging challenge. All right, folks, hold on to your hats and maybe check your vertigo, because we're heading for the high country. Deep in these rugged, often mist-shrouded mountains where slopes are too steep for ground-based machines, we're witnessing a truly gravity-defying marvel, sophisticated cable yarding. Anchored firmly on the ridge or roadside is a powerful truck-mounted yarder, maybe a Valentini T500, a collar, or a similar specialized setup, featuring that towering yellow spar reaching for the sky and massive winch drums spooling thousands of feet of heavy steel cable. Look across that chasm. That's the skyline cable, stretched taut like a steel tightrope between 2 points. Now watch that bright red, often radio-controlled carriage, the brains and muscle of the operation, zip down the line at incredible speed. Way down below on the perilous slope, skilled choker setters are risking life and limb, hooking up the felled timber with choker cables. And now, the lift. The carriage locks onto the chokers, the haulback line goes taut, and tons of timber are hoisted skyward, literally flying over terrain no ground machine could ever hope to reach. That was modern mountain logging. Now let's rewind the clock and see how things were done with classic iron. Let's step back in time for a minute, folks, and appreciate some truly classic, hard-working iron. Here at the local tractor show or historical farming demonstration, this beautiful vintage Ford tractor, looking every bit like a tough Fordson Major, or maybe a slightly later Super Major from the 1950s or 60s, is ready to prove that old school definitely still rules. Just look at the sheer size of that log it's hooked to. We're talking several tons of solid, heavy wood resting on a sturdy, purpose-built logging arch, or maybe a simple trailer. The crowd's watching intently. You can feel the anticipation. Hear that classic four-cylinder diesel engine rumble to life, puffing out that characteristic cloud of smoke that smells like history. The big question is, does this agricultural legend, probably putting out around 50 horsepower back in its prime, still have the guts, the torque, and the traction to pull this monster load across the field? The driver eases out the clutch. The rear wheels bite into the turf. The trailer groans under the immense strain. It's moving. From historic power to modern processing, let's follow the logs into the sawmill. Okay, let's transition from the field and the showgrounds right into the beating heart of modern lumber production, the sawmill intake and primary processing line. It often starts right outside the main building, where you see that versatile Volvo wheel loader, or maybe a cat or deer, armed with heavy-duty log forks or a grapple, skillfully scooping up stacks of timber like giant chopsticks and feeding the hungry system. The logs land with a thud on the infeed deck, a super rugged, heavily built conveyor system designed to take a constant pounding, day in and day out. Watch those heavy roller chains and spiked rollers methodically move the logs along, unscrambling them and staging them for entry into the mill building itself. Inside, a whole symphony of high-speed automation awaits. Powerful ring or Rosser head debarkers stripping bark cleanly, sophisticated 3D laser scanners measuring every dimension of the log in milliseconds to optimize cutting patterns, and then high-speed bandsaws, chipper canters, or circular saws ready to break it all down into valuable lumber with incredible speed and minimal waste. This whole interconnected system is a marvel of industrial efficiency, handling huge volumes non-stop, ensuring a continuous flow from raw forest product to the finished boards that build our homes and furniture. It's the high-throughput start of the transformation. Processing logs is one thing, but getting them on the ground safely in the first place requires incredible skill, especially with the big ones. Now, this is where raw human skill meets calculated mechanical force in a potentially very dangerous, high-stakes dance. Keep your eyes glued on the experienced logger expertly wielding that absolute beast of a chainsaw. Looks like a powerful steel, maybe the legendary MS-881, a model renowned for its massive displacement, incredible power output, and ability to handle bars over 70 inches long for tackling huge timber, biting deep into the base of this massive hardwood tree. Sawdust flies thick and fast as he makes the critical felling cuts with precision. First, the directional notch, or face cut, to accurately guide the fall, then the crucial horizontal back cut. But a tree this big, with this much weight and potentially an uneven lean, often needs a little extra persuasion to go exactly where planned. That's where the older model Hitachi tracked excavator, positioned strategically, comes into play. Let's revisit the challenge of moving heavy loads out of the toughest terrain imaginable. Check out the incredible John Deere 1110D forwarder, a distinctive green machine, purpose-built from the ground up to conquer the absolute toughest, most brutal forest conditions imaginable. Just look at this terrain. It's a chaotic battlefield of jagged stumps, deep ruts, leftover slash, and soft, chewed-up ground left in the aftermath of harvesting operations. But does this 8-wheeled beast, rocking aggressive, high-flotation tires wrapped in heavy-duty steel chains or tracks for maximum bite and traction, even hesitate? Not a chance. Watch its powerful hydrostatic transmission and sophisticated balanced bogie axles articulate like crazy, constantly adjusting to keep those wheels clawing for traction and maintaining stability as it navigates this punishing, uneven landscape. That long-reach telescopic crane and powerful grapple stand ready, poised for the next heavy load of timber. Machines like this, often weighing close to 20 tons empty, even before loading up, are the absolute lifeline of modern cut-to-length forestry operations, hauling multiple tons of timber out of areas completely inaccessible to lesser vehicles or trucks. It's a final, awesome testament to rugged engineering, relentless hydraulic power, and operator skill, battling the brutal aftermath of the harvest. All right, folks, ever wonder what happens after those logs leave the forest and the sawmill? Well, welcome to the industrial powerhouse. We're talking big-time operations here, with tower cranes moving bundles of timber like they're toothpicks. These logs are headed for a major transformation. They get fed onto these heavy-duty conveyors, a non-stop river of wood flowing towards the heart of the plant. You got workers with their cant hooks, making sure everything feeds in just right. Kind of like traffic cops for timber. And where's it all going? Straight into the belly of the beast, a massive chipper or grinder that just pulverizes these logs. It's loud, it's dusty, but man, is it efficient. And what comes out the other side? Perfectly good wood chips, thousands of them, heading up another conveyor, ready for all sorts of uses, from paper to particle board, from forest giants to tiny chips. That's American industry getting it done. Let's head out to a different kind of spot now, deep in what looks like a bamboo jungle, where these fellas are getting down to business with some serious tree felling. You see this guy here? He knows his way around that steel chainsaw. That orange beast is ready to sing. He's lining up his cuts carefully on this good-sized tree. It takes a steady hand and a keen eye, especially working in tight spots like this with all that bamboo around. You got to make your knots just right, then work that back cut perfectly to control where she falls. That style's biting deep now, sawdust flying, engine roaring. That's the sound of hard work and precision. No fooling around when you're dealing with this much power. One wrong move and things can go sideways fast. But these guys, they look like they've done this a time or two. And there she goes, right where they aimed it, nestling down among the bamboo. Another one down, another job well done. That's how you tame the timber, steel style. Get ready for some efficient, mobile biomass production right here in the field, folks. Powering this whole slick operation is that sturdy blue New Holland tractor. Its rear-powered takeoff, PTO shaft, spinning furiously, driving a big, mean green wood chipper. Could be a robust Hysohack, a Gens, or a similar heavy-duty European brand specifically designed for high-volume forestry work. Check out the integrated setup. Mounted right on the tractor itself, often on the three-point hitch or a custom frame, is a nimble but powerful Palfinger Epsilon forestry crane. If you thought logging was just a walk in the woods, well, think again. We're heading into some seriously swampy, muddy territory this time. Just look at this old Belarus tractor earning its keep, fighting tooth and nail through muck that'd swallow a regular truck whole. That driver's got his hands full, coaxing that rig along with a full load of timber. That's pure grit right there. Then you got these specialized green machines, the John Deere forwarders, maybe an 1110 model. These things are built for this kind of punishment. With their multiple wheels, sometimes tracks, and that handy grapple, they can go deep into the cutting zone, pick up a hefty load, and haul it out over terrain that looks more like a bog than a road. It's a constant battle against Mother Nature, a test of horsepower, traction, and the operator's skill. No easy days out here, just hard work and heavy metal getting the job done. And that's a wrap on today's incredible showcase of heavy machinery madness. From the forest floor to the mountain peaks, the power and ingenuity on display are just mind-blowing. Huge thanks for hanging out with us here on Techbeast TV. If you love seeing these metal titans in action, do us a solid and hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more awesome machine adventures coming your way. Until next time, stay safe and keep those engines roaring.